Del Molino here, synthesizer of opinions, and I'm back again with another review of 65432 on the latest Young Fathers LP, Cocoa Sugar. 65432, 6 minutes, 5 things to know about the album, the artist, 4 favorite tracks, 3 adjectives to describe the album. Finally, I give 2 possible ratings to the album. Is it hot or is it hot not? So, 5 things that you should know about Young Fathers, the band, and Cocoa Sugar, the LP, starts with the fact that we have 3 members in the band, all who sort of write and produce the music collectively. These guys are based out of the UK in Edinburgh, Scotland. In this group, we have Aloysius Massaquoi, who is originally from Liberia. Who is originally from Nigeria, along with Caius Bankole, who is originally from Liberia. The lone born and raised in Scotland member of the group is Graham G. Hastings. Again, all these guys seem to put in a very collective effort, as in where the album goes, how it's written, how it's structured, what the stylistics and aesthetics are like. These guys do seem rather interchangeable in the group, but also very essential to how the process works. This band initially put themselves on the map with their debut album, Dead. This album was a confident and ambitious foot forward into this very progressive UK hip-hop, alternate R&B style that they are still sort of using today. Dead gained them a lot of critical acclaim and even ended up earning themselves a very prestigious UK Mercury Music Prize over the equally acclaimed FKA Twigs on her LP1. After that, they released another pretty solid album with White Men Are Black Men Too. And here we are in 2018 with their latest album, Cocoa Sugar. That album title is meant to represent the bitter and sweet in life, the light and the dark, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly. Finally, before I get into my favorite songs on the album, I want to talk about what I see as the central theme of the project here, which is 4 young fathers working outside the box by trying to fit in more. For a lot of bands who end up at this point in the road that Young Fathers are at, 4 or 5 projects deep now, it's kind of where do we go from here sort of thing. Well, for these guys, the real challenge is coming back into the more traditional fold of music making and coming with a poppier, more accessible album that remains true to their original sound, their very avant-garde nature, and their artistic approach to hip-hop, to R&B. What I think will really detail this album as being good or great or better or worse than their first or second LPs is going to be that idea of how well do they balance their own artistry and their attempts to be a little bit more accessible, a little bit more mainstream. So, with my 4 favorite songs on the album, I feel like this theme has been made good on a number of tracks. And some of those tracks end up highlighting my list here. So it goes in this order, from 4 to 1, Picking You, the final track on the album, Holy Ghost, In My View, and then finally my favorite, FAVE. What I like about number 4, the ending track on this album, Picking You, is that it feels very final. It feels like musical closure. Holy Ghost at number 3 is another song that I think hits some really solid face value, especially on the hip-hop spectrum of this album's sound. You can just hear it right away with the instrumental, the very punctual and aggressive rapping on the very beginning of the song. Up at number 2 is In My View, the lead single on the album. This track, to me, total dynamite. Again, trying to make a poppier album, this is the pop song. And again, it's done by a very accessible and interesting instrumental that kind of stays true to their own sound, but follow it up with this frickin' sticky hook. You hear it once, you'll be hearing it all day. And again, this is kind of the landmark moment of the track listing where you're really seeing Young Fathers do something very outside of their own comfort zone, but not necessarily sell themselves short. This is one of their most well-rounded tracks yet. Finally, FAVE, my favorite song on the album, kind of a personal favorite. If I was going for best, objectively best, I still may give it to In My View. This song, FAVE, is easily the weirdest and most dynamic track on the album that also has the most face value. And I think that face value comes from mostly the instrumental with the very subtly catchy, very dark and eerie piano loop. And underneath that, the bedrock of the instrumental are the tribal drums that Young Fathers are well known for using. And then the gear shifting of both the instrumental patterns and the vocal inflections that outline The verses on this song are smooth, but very noticeable. They define and enunciate the phases of this song, which keep it interesting, a bit winding. Again, only a 2-minute and 40-second track that feels like it has a lot more going on inside of it. So, 3 adjectives. I'm actually going to pull some adjectives that these guys described the album with themselves. In an interview with The Guardian, these guys kept describing their sound and the process of making the album as immediate, spontaneous, and free-flowing. I think these adjectives hit the nail on the head a little bit. I think at the very least they describe this idea of trying to push themselves into this realm that they're uncomfortable with, but doing so with a natural fluctuation of their sound and their artistic process. I will say songs like Wow and Tremolo don't necessarily endear outside listeners all that much with their very niche structuring and progressions, but I think in the big picture and the songs that end up at the very face of this album, this band has accomplished what they set out to do. As for hot or nah, I'm gonna give this a hot. I see what they're trying to do. I see them doing it. Not at all points of this project are they accomplishing that perfectly, but yeah, a really solid project, very replayable, and yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Thank you for watching another 65432 review. I have been Dev Del Molino. You have been so wonderful for watching. If you have favorite tracks, if you have adjectives to describe the album with, is it hot or not? Let me know down in the comment section below. Other than that, that's gonna be it for me. So remember, art without favor is like a windmill without wind. Dev Del Molino, out.